What is stress? Stress interrupts your calm living. We all want to live lives that are tidy and tranquil. When we get into particular habits, we tend to develop well. Every human being is an animal. If you've ever owned a dog, you may have noticed that the dog thrived on routine. You had to walk the animal at specific times of the day, feed it at certain times of the day, and sleep at certain times of the day. The routine was important to the dog. When the routine was disrupted, the dog would have mishaps in the house or behave in other harmful ways. This is because the dog was under stress. What was causing the dog's anxiety? The obvious reason is that his or her routine had been disrupted. Humans behave in the same way. Parents frequently discover that when their children have a fixed schedule rather than chaos in the home, they behave considerably better. Routines provide a youngster with a sense of stability, which is what a child craves the most. Many parents will claim that their children are rebellious and refuse to go to bed on time. Their routine for bedtime consists of instructing their children to go to bed. It then escalates into yelling at their children to go to bed or threatening them with punishment if they do not. The entire go-to-bed problem can be avoided if parents just establish a nightly ritual, such as milk and cookies, a good night tale, and being tucked in every night. The kids know what to expect and actually look forward to going to bed. This provides youngsters with an additional sense of stability, which they desperately require in their life. We all want to feel comfortable and secure, yet as we get older, we understand that things don't always stay the same. We all have experiences in our lives that turn our world upside down and give us worry. We have no influence over the majority of these instances, however, we do have some control over others. Some of us are lucky enough not to be exposed to these stresses until maturity, whilst others may have been exposed to stress throughout their infancy. Stress can be caused by external events or by something we manufacture in our imaginations. If we are causing ourselves stress, it is likely that something from outside sparked that state and the accompanying response. The following are some of the most well-known stressors. Number 1. A loved one's death. This person could be a spouse, parent, child, or friend. Death is a natural part of life, yet the death of a loved one is extremely stressful. As we speak, our hearts are broken. Our lives are severely disturbed while we grieve losing a loved one. Unfortunately, there is little we can do about it, and we will all have to deal with it sooner or later. Many people recover from these stressors and go about their daily lives. Some people never fully heal. The death of a loved one can result in a range of significant ailments that we contract, including depression. The death of a child is perhaps the hardest pain anybody can experience, and many individuals never fully recover from this type of hardship, but they do manage to carry on with their life for the benefit of others around them. Despite the notion that the death of a kid is enough to drive anyone insane, most people have more of a life force and feel obliged to continue. However, this is one stress element that can be emotionally devastating and from which some people may never fully recover. Number 2. Divorce. Regardless of whether we are delighted to dispose of our ex-life partner, separation is a significant stressor in our lives. As well as making us feel pressure, it can likewise worry our children. Many couples are so wrapped up in their own feelings during a separation that they neglect to see the effect of the circumstance on their kids. Odds are good that the children are feeling a considerable amount of disturbance, regardless of whether they are excessively youthful to comprehend what is truly happening. As a matter of fact, more youthful kids can encounter considerably more pressure than more seasoned youngsters on account of their parents' separation, since they can't fully express their feelings, nor might they at any point comprehend that daddy or mother disappearing doesn't have anything to do with them. To a small kid, all that on the planet has something to do with them. A child who witnesses his or her parents' divorce will be stressed. In some situations, stress can lead to a variety of psychological illnesses, including anxiety. The routine has been disrupted, and the youngster no longer feels safe, so he or she will develop a disorder such as anorexia to relieve tension and maintain some control over their life. Whether or if the children appear to be fine, they should see a counselor when their parents split. Some children will be able to cope with stress easier than others, but it is always a good idea to double-check that the youngster is genuinely fine. Number 3. Moving and relocation. This is difficult even if you are going from a shanty to a mansion. It may be a joyful ending. Even though it is a rare occurrence, it is still an interruption in your routine. And any disturbance to your routine is stressful. Moving causes havoc for the entire family. It's also a tremendous pain in the neck. You also have to deal with the packing. Everyone despises relocating. Packing and then unpacking all of your possessions is a chore. Because very few of us are lucky enough to have someone perform all of this labor for us, it can be stressful. Moving, even if we don't have to lift a finger, is a disruption to our typical pattern. It will take some time for you to settle into your new house. Until then, try to keep as much of your regular routine as possible, particularly if you have children. Number 4. Illness of major proportions. Any big disease is a substantial source of worry for the entire family. When one individual becomes unwell, everyone who is around her suffers as well. A serious illness is one of the most stressful experiences we may have because it can last for years, taking an emotional toll on everyone around us, especially children. Many people who suffer from a serious disease get depression. This is frequently due to a significant change in their life. Others will almost certainly experience despair or exhibit strange behavior. A young person who has a seriously ill parent may begin using drugs, alcohol, or other substances to relieve the stress caused by the parent's illness, especially if they believe they are unable to deal with the stress, and the rest of the family may be emotionally absent to assist. Some young people cope with the stress of a sick parent by self-medicating with drugs, alcohol, or even promiscuous sex. Number 5. Job displacement. Aside from being humiliating, losing a job will almost certainly put you in financial difficulty. Job loss frequently causes despair and anxiety. Not only has your self-esteem suffered, but you are also concerned about money. You will most likely be stressed until you find new work or accept the fact that you will have to make do with less money. You will experience a change in your lifestyle as well as your financial situation until you recover your bearings, and the uncertainty surrounding finding another work is equally nerve-wracking. So there is no disputing that losing a job and having to locate a new one is quite stressful. Even if we abandon a job in search of a better one, this is still regarded as a source of stress. Starting a new job, while beneficial, may be stressful for most people. Why? because it disrupts our routine. And everything that disrupts our schedule causes us to be stressed. These are just a few of the significant stressors that we encounter as a society. Other factors can contribute to stress, but these are among the most serious. In summary, happy events such as the birth of a child, marriage, or even going on vacation can cause stress in certain people. Even though these are happy times, they are also stressful. Why? Because they interfere with our way of life. Are you noticing a pattern in terms of stress here? Each one of the aforementioned pressures has one thing in common: they disturb our lives. We don't like having our lives disrupted, and even if it's a good disturbance, it produces tension. We cannot live our lives like robots and expect nothing to change. We will all face tough circumstances throughout our lives. Our ability to manage stress is determined by how we handle stressful events. There is good and bad stress, and there are excellent and poor ways to deal with stress. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you learned something new from this. Please like, comment, subscribe to this channel and share with others. Click the next video for the continuation of this lesson.